I think Creed is one of the oldest perfume houses that I have encountered in my life. Despite that, I've never tested anything from this brand, and today I have 3 samples that I'll be very happy to review with you. Creed was founded in 1760 in England, but a century later they decided to move to Paris, and since then they are considered a French maison de parfum. Now I have 3 nice florals. One of them is Spring Flower. It was first launched in 1996, but this one is a new edition that came out only this year. And then I have a fragrance that is called Love in White, and it's flanker Love in White summer version. So let's begin. Spring Flower seems like a boring name, but you expect a nice feminine fragrance. Unfortunately, I don't know how the original version was smelling. I could only guess from the information provided by Fragrantica, but I was a bit surprised by dissonance between what I feel in this 2023 version and the description. The big bottle has a pink color and very similar to the design of Dina that I love so much. Creed advertises Spring Flower as a playful and uninhibited celebration of feminine energy. Sounds really intriguing. Well, as always, I had tried the fragrance before checking it out on Fragrantica on the official website, but when I tried it, I was not impressed. The opening is very citrusy green with pretty sharp jasmine, very light but screechy at the same time. And I was really searching for that sweetness that is coming from peaches and apricots, but I did not get any sweetness in here. In fact, the main flower that I was feeling in here is freesia, that is not even listed by Creed. And I noticed that some people compare the original version of Spring Flower to the fragrance called Burberry Summer by Burberry. I do see the base of comparison, especially freesia mostly, but for me these fragrances are not in the same basket. Burberry Summer was really my favorite fragrance in 2008, and I wore the entire bottle over the period of 3 months, while this one I don't think I can even finish a sample. The note that disturbs me here the most is something that I associate with Windex, or a cleaning product for windows. And a fragrance that came into my mind that it has a very similar DNA, surprisingly, is Moschino, the bottle that looks like Windex. But at least Moschino is a cheap fragrance. This one is 220 euros per bottle. And believe me, it does not sound chic at all, not even a tiny bit. A big disappointment, seriously. Love in White was a fragrance that was launched in 2005, and the rumor is that it's a perfume that is liked by the first ladies of America. Laura Bush and Michelle Obama liked this perfume. I'm not very certain if the fragrance was reformulated or if we have the same formula that was created in 2005. But the design of the bottle has changed, and they also added a new fragrance that is a flanker and is called Love in White for Summer. These perfumes are very similar, but the notes were reshuffled a bit, and I'm going to spray them side by side to compare the tiny nuances. Love in White on my right wrist, and I will have Love in White for Summer on my left wrist. If you look at the description, the notes are actually very similar, but they were reshuffled a bit and they don't come in the same order. If I could just rely on my nose, I would say that these are light musky fragrances that are dominated by jasmine for maybe 90%. Then you can catch some freesia, some citruses, and maybe something very generic, floral fruity. But the description looks much more interesting than what we catch in these fragrances. So to describe further nuances, I will be relying more on the notes that I find in the description. It does not mean that I actually feel those notes individually. Love in White has the opening that is a bit brighter and more intense than the opening of Love in White for Summer. And those apricots a little bit sweeter, while Love in White for Summer has green apples coming up in the front and giving that green crunchiness to the opening. When it comes to the middle notes, jasmine and freesia really dominate the heart of both compositions. which makes it very similar to spring flower. It's transparent, clean, and fresh. But fortunately, unlike spring flower, I don't get anything that is reminiscent to cleaning product in here. And when it comes to other florals, it's really hard to detect them. The only difference is that Love in White remains a bit more intense than Love in White for summer, and I think Love in White becomes a bit rounder, while Love in White for summer keeps those zesty, citrusy edges almost till the dry down. These are not the kind of fragrances that project very far, and the only person who might feel that you are wearing something is a person who is sitting right next to you. And if a person is sitting in front of you, for example, if you're intending to wear this perfume on a date, probably will not even notice that you have a perfume on. The part that was very surprising to me is the dry down of the fragrances. Love in White for summer dies out a bit faster, while Love in White remains on your skin. And when it doesn't project beyond 1 foot of your skin, that's the moment when I can fantasize about magnolia and rice. But I would say that this is something you can fantasize about with the same success when you're wearing Baccarat Rouge. And the dry down of Love in White is reminding me of Baccarat Rouge 540. What a surprise. Cedarwood, a bit of jasmine, and a touch of ambergris. They're really lovely, very feminine, very well-rounded, and that's the part that really surprised me about Love in White. But I don't want to compare Baccarat Rouge and Love in White, because Love in White smells on your skin and Baccarat Rouge is totally the opposite. It does not smell on your skin, but it smells in the air. It really projects. So when it comes to Love in White, it's not a fragrance that I would recommend to have as a full bottle, unless you're really a lover of jasmine, freesia, citrusy, clean combination. I cannot say I was impressed, and I cannot say that it gives me desire to try any more of Creed. Let me know if you are a fan of these 2 or 3, and if you have any recommendations for other perfumes of the brand.